So in this video, I'm going to show you how to summarize quantitative data that you have collected for your stat survey. So in the last videos about summarizing categorical data, we went through how you can download the responses from Google Form survey into a CSV file by clicking here and do download. And you should download two files because you have two survey, one for college students, and then the other file for adults not in college. So you should have this downloaded in two separate files. And I show you how you can cut and paste or copy and paste them to two data files in Statcrunch. So one is college student data by copy and paste, Control V into it, and one for non-college student data. You put the title here, then Statcrunch will save it, and you can recognize which one is which because they look the same. So in the last video, I show you how to summarize the categorical data into bar graph. And in this video, we're going to summarize the two quantitative data into histogram. For the most part, I only want you to summarize one of the quantitative data, but if you want to, you can summarize both. The one that I want you to summarize is the one that you have your claim on. You want to look at the one that you are doing a hypothesis test. So in this case, I'm going to do a hypothesis test for stay home time, comparing college students and non-college adults. So I will want to summarize this because these are quantitative data. So I'm going to summarize them with a graph of histogram. Okay, so I do histogram. Stay home time, they automatically know that you can summarize the categorical data. So you just summarize one, stay home. You can take all the default. The only one that I want to put is, of course, the title. So you will say, this is the histogram for college student. This for college student? Yeah, college students stay home time. Stay home longest time. So you compute, and then this histogram will show up. So when we graph this, we use the default bucket size. I mean the class width and class lowest class limit. So which looks okay. If you want to, so and the class width is pretty good. It's for 2, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 classes, so it's good enough. If you, for some reason, they summarize it in such a way that you only have like 3 classes, or they summarize in such a way that the class width is very funky number, you can go back and change the start at, like, you can start from 0 or whatever that is valid for your data, and then you can also change a different width. So in my case, maybe I want to change it to 1. Okay, so just for the sake of making it more granular. So you will see that I have a histogram like this. I can make it a little smaller so I can cut and paste it. I have the title, I have the 2 axis labels, so I'm ready to cut and copy and cut this histogram into my report. So just do a snipping tool or screen print so you can save it into a report. So earlier you see how I saved the categorical data. I'm going to do the longest duration to stay home. The first population is college students. So I'm just going to paste it here. Make it smaller. So we don't need it to be that big because I want both of them side by side. So make it like this. And then I'm going to do one for non-college adult. Okay. So for the non-college adult, I switch to the other Statcrunch data table. Is this one, stay home data. Again, histogram, stay home time. I want to do the title, histogram for non-college adults, stay home time. I might want to change them so they have the same beginning, lowest limit and also same width. Okay, so here I get the same one so that they would have the same kind of frequency and the same kind of like x and y axis. So again, after I tailor it and make sure that I have title, I am going to cut and paste this, just screen print this, copy, into my Word document. Okay, so put it here, paste it here, and make it smaller. Doesn't need to be that big. So that they're side by side. Now again, you would want to do a paragraph on describing the two population. In this case, most of my population are right skill, right? We have most of the people stay home actually quite short. There's a few that stay longer. So you talk about how they differ in terms of in terms of the distributions compared between the two, or are they the same? I think there are some longer days for non-college adults. College adults seems to more or less the same, but the longest one is not there. And then the next summary I want to do is the numerical summary, which is what is the mean, what's the median, standard deviation, sample size, all those. These would be useful when you do a hypothesis test in case you want to use the summary statistics to do hypothesis tests. So I go back to my Statcrunch, and I don't need the graph anymore. I can delete the graph. I want to start with college student first, so delete this graph. And I want to do a summary statistic column for stay home time. I want the mean, everything, but maybe I'll just do everything. Okay. So, and then you write down mean is 3.9. I want the standard deviation is 2.3. One decimal is good enough. And then sample size is 28. So I would record it over here. What, 2.9? The average stay home is 3.9. For God. 3.9. Standard deviation is 2.3 and is 28. 2.3 and n is 28. Okay, so summarize it. If you want to, you can do median too. Medians are usually a good summary for most data. A median is 4. And then, so that is for college students, right? Because this size for college students. And then I want to do one for non-college students. So I go back to my data table for non-college adults. I do a summary stat column, stay home again, compute. In this case, my mean is 4.7. Standard deviation is 2.9. So I put it 4.7. Oops, 4.7. Standard deviation is 2.9. So the mean is higher. So for non-college adult, the average stay-home time is actually larger. It could be because of the outliers, like this big number. And n is 22. I forgot to do median. So you say median is, because it's right skill, so the median is actually, it's also 4. So they're more or less the same in terms of the median. So you put 4. So that's how you summarize them. Okay. And then the next things I want to do is do the scatter plot. Okay, so here I did it already, but I can show you how it is done. So I want to do a scatter plot to study how these two are related in terms of correlation. So I start off with college students data first, so get this away. I want to show how these are related. So I would do a scatter plot for the stay home and lifted time. So are they kind of related? Do people stay home longer would want to or would predict a longer lifted time, or are they not related? Again, the one that I want you to do is, of course, the titles. Scatter plot for college student, stay home versus lifted time, right? Like that. Compute. So this is the one that I cut and paste. I already did. Okay, I cut and paste it here. And then you do the same. You do the same for the non-college student ones. You do graph, scatter plot, and then select stay home and limited time. And then do your title here, scatter plot for non-college adult. Stay home versus lifted time. And then compute. So all in all, so you don't have to make it such a big number, but you want to make sure your titles is there. So then maybe I'll cut and paste it again. So new, this is a scatter plot. All in all, for my data, it seems like they're not no correlation. Do you feel? They're like scattered around. You don't see a particular pattern, so there's no correlation. But I can actually find, I'm going to cut and paste this again. I'm going to find actually the correlation coefficient R. So what I'll do would be so I don't want this anymore. I don't need this. I cut and paste it already. So I will do a standard a correlation coefficient R by doing summary stat correlation. And then click the two together and then do a compute. So for the non-college student is 0.3204, which I have put down 0.3204. And for college students, I'll repeat it. I'll do it again. I didn't write it down. So it's summary stat correlation. Do both of them. And then compute. So this one is much lower. It's 0.0612. So put it down 0.0612. Both of them are really low, I think. But you can in the next step, you would do a statistical analysis. Meaning you would do a confidence interval, you would do a hypothesis test, and you would do a linear regression test also to study if there's correlation. But this is how you summarize your quantitative data. And like what I said, you only need to summarize one, the one that you are going to do your hypothesis claim on. Okay. And you can look at the next videos about doing statistical analysis.